students, how are you? Today we are going to have an exam session for 9th grade. Let me first introduce my colleagues. Ms. Huda Ibrahim from Damascus Directorate. Ms. Sana Ismail from Damascus Countryside Directorate. And me, Ms. Abir Al-Hassan, Damascus Countryside Directorate. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Now, today we are going to have a view or a look about tenses, first of all. Then let me start with Ms. Huda.
Okay.
Yeah, please, Ms. Huda.
Start talking about simple present tense.
Yeah.
Affirmative form. Really, each tense has three important forms: affirmative, negative, and a question. I will start with the affirmative form: subject, verb one, and complement. We have example: I speak English, he speaks English. I have a car, she has a car. Notice we add es to the verb instead of s with he, she, it. When the word ends in s, double s, sh, ch, x, z, and o. We have example: I finish, he finishes. I go, she goes. You watch, she watches. We fix, he fixes.
So these words that they end with these letters, we should add es instead of s.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Next,
yes,
please.
next, please.
The question form: do, does, subject, infinitive, and complement. Example: do you speak English? Do you have a car? Does he speak English? Don't forget that with the pronouns he, she, it, we use does.
We use does.
Yes. Does he speak English? Does she have a car? Because the verb is infinitive, so have, not has. Does he have a car? Notice have, not has is used because we use the infinitive form of the verb after auxiliaries, not verb one.
Not verb one.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Now negative form.
Negative form. So subject, do or does, not, infinitive, complement. Example: I do not speak English. He doesn't have a car.
Yeah.
The use. Maybe
Sana, Sana, please.
Okay, the use. Number one, with habits. We mean habitual actions. Here we use adverbs of frequency such as always, usually, sometimes, often, never, seldom, generally, rarely. Also we have once, twice, three times, and so on. Frequently, every day, every week, every month, every year, and so on. For example, it often rains in winter. I go to school every day. She sometimes plays tennis.
These happen all the time or frequently.
Number two, we use the simple present with facts. For example, the earth goes round the sun. We eat to live. This is facts. Number three, state verbs. We mean by it involuntary verbs. For example, I see a bird. She hears my voice. Next, please. Now, there are other uses such as number four.
No.
Thank you. Okay. In narration, for example, it's Jane's birthday. She wakes up early, has a shower, gets dressed, and goes to shop. Number five. And instead of future tense, we use have a timetable.
When we
for example,
have a timetable.
Yes. The lesson starts at 8 o'clock. The planet takes off at 4:30. Okay. 34 p.m. Sorry.
Yeah. Now, let's move to present continuous tense. Here we have the three: affirmative form, question form, and negative form. Please, Ms. Huda.
Okay. Affirmative form, subject, is, are, verb, ing, and complement. We have example: I am playing football. She is reading a book. We are studying.
Okay.
This is the affirmative. Now about the question form, is, are, subject, verb ing, and complement. Am I speaking quickly? Is he playing football? Are you studying? Now, the
And these are yes or no questions.
yes, no
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They should answer yes, I
Yes
am, or no,
no,
I
I'm
am
not. Yeah.
The negative form, subject, is, are, not. We add not to the auxiliary
Yes.
verb. Verb ing and complement. We have example, I'm not working now. She isn't cooking at the moment. They aren't studying. Notice, I am not, I'm not. We abbreviate it. But we can write or say amen.
Yeah.
It means we abstract the A and not the O.
Not O.
Yes. He is not. He isn't. He is not. We are not. We aren't. We are not.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Now here the use.
Yes.
Now let me say it.
Okay.
Now the use to express that the action is happening now. So present continuous, the action is happening now. We use now, right now, at the moment, at present, today, tonight, this week, this month, this year. For example, I'm watching a film now. ing with the verb. With the incomplete actions, example, she is writing a book.
She is still writing.
Yeah, she is still writing now. The action is happening now.
Yes.
So we have to add is and ing with the verb. Now, instead of the future tense, when we talk about arrangements, personal plans, example, we are visiting my aunt next week. So here there is a plan, and plan is personal. Now we are visiting. We use a present continuous tense for future arrangements. Now with the temporary actions, example, I'm living in London now, but I'm Syrian. I am a student here. So I live
for a long time.
Not for a long time, not forever, but I'm living in London in this period of time. Now let's move to simple past tense, and we are going to start with the Mr. Now.
Okay, simple past tense. We have three forms. The first one is affirmative form. We use subject plus verb to plus the complement. For example, I went to school yesterday. She played volleyball last Monday. I just want to pay attention to the verb in the simple past are divided into two types.
Regular.
Yes, the first one is regular verbs and the next one is irregular verbs. So the next
regular verbs are usually ended with ed.
Adding ed.
Yeah. And the irregular,
students should
memorize. They should learn them.
Okay. Number two, question form. Did plus subject plus infinitive plus complement. For example, did you play football last Monday? This is a question form.
Yeah.
Did she see the film before? This is also a question form. We use here did. Did is the helping verb in the simple past
and verb infinitive.
Okay. Number three, negative form. We use subject plus did plus not plus infinitive plus the complement. For example, I didn't or I did not play tennis yesterday. He didn't go to the cinema with me.
Yeah.
So we use not after did. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Next, please.
Next.
No.
The use. Okay, the use. Number one, to express a single action happened and ended in the past. For example, we saw that film a week ago.
No.
Okay. We use the adverbs like yesterday, last week, last Saturday morning, last Tuesday evening, ago. We mean by ago 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
It
should be preceded
by
something
that it's important that students memorize these references or the keywords.
Okay.
For each tense.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Find the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. And last year.
Yeah.
Number two, to express a habit that was frequent in the past.
Yes.
Okay. For example, I swam in the river every day last summer. Okay, it was every day, but,
yes, but
when
in the past.
last summer. Okay, number 3 with unreal past. Example, she speaks as if she was an adult.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is not real, so
This is not
yeah,
real,
yeah.
so we use the simple past. I wish I knew the answer. Okay, this is
Yes.
with wish.
Yeah, with wish.
Number 4 with second conditional sentences.
Yes.
In conditional sentences, we have 3
Types.
yes. And here we use the next type in it. For example, if I was or if I were rich, I would buy a big house.
Yeah. And this is unreal.
This is unreal.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
next, please.
Now, past continuous tense, Ms. Huda.
Yes. Also, we'll talk about the 3 forms of this tense. The affirmative form, subject, was or were, verb ing, and complement. Example, I was having dinner when you phoned. The boys were playing football when the bell rang. Now, we will talk about the question form, was or were, plus subject, plus verb ing, plus complement. Example, were you studying? Was he watching a film? Now we will talk about the negative form. Subject, was or were, plus not, plus verb ing, plus the complement. Example, I wasn't playing. They weren't studying.
So, such as present continuous tense, we use verb to be is are with the verb with ing. In past continuous tense,
the past of verb to be is
was,
were, plus verb
with ing. And we are talking here about period of time.
Period of
Yeah,
time.
length of time. Okay.
Next,
next please. Now the use, Ms. Huda.
Okay. To show that the action was in progress in the past. Example, we were studying all day yesterday. The process of studying continued. 2. To talk about 2 actions in the past. The first was in progress and was interrupted by another action. We put the first in the past continuous tense and the one which interrupted it in the past simple. I will give an example.
Yeah, please.
I was listening to music when my mom called me, or when the lights went out.
Yeah. We have 2 verbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One
the
was
first one is
going on.
Yeah.
Second one interrupted it.
Past
The
simple.
first one is used in the past continuous. Was or were plus verb ing.
Yeah.
The second one is used in the past simple verb to.
Yeah.
While I was climbing the mountain, I fell.
I fell.
Good.
I fell. Yeah.
Another example.
3.
No.
To show that the action was incomplete in the past.
Yeah. Okay. Compare.
I read a book on the plane. I didn't finish reading. It's incomplete. I was reading a book on the plane. I didn't finish it.
Yes.
Notice when the action happens quickly, we use the simple past, not the past continuous. Example, a bee stung me last week. Not a bee was stinging me.
Yeah.
Because the verb sting doesn't need time to happen.
Yes, it happened quickly.
Yes, fast. 4 with the state verbs. Example, I saw a bird. I knew the answer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next,
now,
please, Mr.
Now, present perfect tense. Let me read it, please. Now we have affirmative form, subject plus have or has, then verb 3, and then the complement. I have just eaten lunch. Here, I, they, we, you, they have, he, she, it has. She has almost finished cleaning the house. Question form, have or has at the beginning, then subject, then verb 3, then complement. Have you eaten lunch? Has he written a letter? Now, negative form, subject, have or has, then plus not, and verb 3, then the complement. I haven't done my homework. She has never played tennis. So we can use the negative form with not or with never. She has never played tennis. I haven't means I have not. Hasn't, has not. Next. Now the use, Miss Sana, please.
Okay, the use. Number 1, with an action happened in the past, we mean by this the exact time is not mentioned here. And we talk about it now and we see the result now. For example, somebody has painted the door. In this case, we use already, almost, just, and yet. For example, I had just eaten lunch. Here, if you notice, Ms. Abir, that we use just between have
And the verb.
three.
Yeah.
Okay. Another example, she has almost finished cleaning the house. We use almost between has and
Yes,
finished.
the same thing. Yeah.
The same. Number 3, my father hasn't come yet. Now we use yet at the end of the sentence in the negative and the
in
question.
the question.
Yes.
Another example, has your father come yet?
And this is the question.
Yes, this is the
Yeah.
question. Notice, has your father come is a formal question, whereas hasn't your father come yet, this sentence expresses surprise.
Yes.
Okay. Usually, negative forms or negative questions expresses surprise. For example, I have already written an email.
Yeah.
This is a surprise.
Yeah.
Number 2, when the action started in the past and has continued without stop until the present and may continue in the future. In this case, we use since with a point in time and for with duration of time. For example, I have played the piano since I was 10. Okay. She has driven her car for 3 years. Number 3, when something has never happened before. For example, she has never seen snow. We use never. So we use never to negate the sentence. Number 4, when one action has happened many times until the present. For example, we have had 4 tests so far. Until this time, we mean. We use, in this case, so far, until now, up to now. Here we have a comparison between 2 sentences. He has been shopping. It means he went and returned. The next sentence, he has gone shopping. It means he is still there.
Yeah, this is the difference between been and gone in verb 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, present perfect continuous. Ms. Huda, please.
Also, the affirmative form, subject, have or has, plus been, plus verb, ing, plus complement. We have examples. I have been waiting for an hour. He has been teaching since 1999. Now the question form, have or has, plus subject, plus been, plus verb, ing, plus complement. Example, have you been teaching since 1999? How long has she been teaching? Now we'll talk about the negative form. Subject, have or has, plus not, plus been, plus verb, ing, plus the complement. Example, I haven't been teaching. He hasn't been waiting. They use one to show that the action has started in the past, has continued to the present, and may continue in the future. We use since and for. Example, I have been waiting for an hour. He has been teaching since 1999. Number 2, to talk about a past activity that has a present result. Example, he's tired. Why is tired? Because he has been running.
For a
Her hair,
length of time.
yes, exactly. Her hair is wet because she has been swimming. You have the result and to show the length of the time. We use the adverbs lately, recently, all day, all morning, all week with these tense. Notice when we use all plus time, all day, all week, this means that the action is long and should be in the continuous tense, whatever the tense is.
Okay, thank you.
Next, please.
So, since and for is used with the present perfect continuous and past perfect. Okay, now past perfect tense. Here we have affirmative form, subject, plus had, instead of has and have.
The past
Then
of have
the past
and has
of,
is had.
form, yes, and the verb 3, then the complement. Now, example, I had eaten. I had eaten. Here we don't have to notice the subject because we use had with all pronouns. I had eaten breakfast before I went to school. Question form had at the beginning, then subject, verb 3, and complement. Example, had he eaten breakfast before he went to school? Negative form, subject, had, plus not, verb 3, and complement. Example, I hadn't eaten breakfast before I went to school. Now the use of past perfect tense, Mrs. Sana, please.
Okay, the use of past perfect tense. Number one, when we talk about two actions in the past with a period of time between them, we put that happened first in the past perfect tense and that happened second in simple past tense. For example, I had eaten breakfast before I went to school. So which action happened first?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
Breakfast. Yes. So I had eaten breakfast before I went to school. Notice when we have succession, we mean one by one.
Yeah.
Okay. Two or more actions following one another in sequence. We put them all in the simple past tense. Number two, when we talk about an action happened before a specific time, specific past time. For example, before sunrise, the doctor had performed the operation.
Yeah.
Number three, when an action never happened before a specific past time. For example, before she went to Lebanon last February, Suha had never seen snow. She had never seen snow. Sorry. Number four, with third conditional sentences. For example, if I had known the answer, I would have told you.
And this is type 3.
Yes,
Type
type 3.
Okay.
If plus past
Perfect.
and in the
Would
next
have,
side, yes, would have plus
verb
verb 3.
3.
Okay, thank you.
Next.
Okay, now past perfect continuous tense, Ms. Huda.
Yes. The affirmative form, subject, had, been, verb ing, and complement. Example, the police had been looking for the criminal for 2 hours before they caught him last week.
2 years, yeah.
Yes. Question form, had plus subject plus been plus verb ing plus complement. We invert the had and the subject. Example, how long had the police been looking for the criminal before they caught him last week? 3. The negative form, subject, had, not. We always, the negative, we use
with
not.
had,
We add not to the helping verb or auxiliary verb. So, had. Subject plus had plus not plus been plus verb ing plus the complement. We have example, he hadn't been waiting for a long time when he found a taxi.
The use, please.
Yes, number one, to show that an action was in progress before another action in the past. Example, the police had been looking for the criminal for 2 years before they caught him last week. 2. To talk about a past activity with a past result. He was tired because he had been running. So there is a result that he was tired because he had
and
been.
the result is in the past.
Exactly, in the past, because he had been running. Her hair was wet because she had been swimming.
Okay. Next, please. Now, about future tense, we use will and be going to. We are going to start with will. Affirmative form, we use subject, shall or will, infinitive verb, and complement. Example, I shall or will go to school. We shall or will go to school. You will. Now, we use shall with I and we, but you will go to school, he will go to school, she will go to school, it will eat the bird, and they will go to school. Now question form, Ms. Sana, please.
Okay, question form. Shall or will plus subject plus infinitive plus the complement. For example, shall I go to school? Shall we go to school? Will you go to school? Will he go to school? Will she go to school? Will they go to school? Will it eat the bird?
The bird.
Yes.
Negative form.
In the negative form, we use subject plus shall or will plus not plus infinitive plus the complement. For example, I shall not or shan't go to school. I will not or won't go to school. We shall not or shan't go to school. We will not or won't go to school. Another example, he will not or won't go to school. She will not or won't go to school. You will not or won't go to school. They will not or won't go to school. It will not or won't eat the bird.
Yeah, so we with negative form we use shan't or won't. Yeah. Now be going to, Ms. Huda, please.
Yes. The affirmative form, subject, be, going to. We mean by be, is, are.
Verb to be, yeah.
Depends on the subject or the pronoun that we use it. Be going to plus infinitive plus complement. Example, I am going to be a doctor. You are going to be a doctor. He is going to be a doctor. She is going to be a doctor. We are going to be doctors. They are going to be doctors.
So with I am,
he,
she, it is,
you, we,
you
they
are going to.
Yes. Okay. A question form, be, subject, going to, infinitive, and complement. Am I going to be a doctor? Are you going to be a doctor? Is he going to be a doctor? Is she going to be a doctor? Are we going to be doctors? Are they going to be doctors? Is it going to eat the bird?
So verb to be is at the beginning in the question. Okay. Negative form, please.
Next is
now this is next, Huda.
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
Oh, negative form. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subject, be, not, going to, plus infinitive, plus the complement. Example, I am not going to be a doctor. You are not going to be a doctor. He is not going to be a doctor. She is not going to be a doctor. We are not going to be doctors. They are not going to be doctors. Yeah. It is not going to eat the bird. We can contract I am not to am not. He is not to, he is not, or he isn't. We are not to, we aren't, we aren't.
Okay,
we are not or we aren't.
Yes. Now the use with the use of will versus be going to. Miss Sana, please.
Okay. The use will versus be going to. Number one, to express intention. If the decision was taken before the moment of speaking, we mean by that
it's planned.
Yes. We use be going to. For example, I bought some tomatoes and cucumber, so I'm going to make a salad. This is a planned one. But if the decision is not taken at the moment of speaking, we mean by that we have no plan. We use will. For example, the phone is ringing. I'll answer it.
If I am hungry, I want to make salad. Yeah, I didn't plan. I didn't buy anything. Okay, I will make salad.
Yeah, this is a fast decision. Yeah, but when we prepare things, when you
think and decide something before you speak it, we use be going to.
For prediction.
Okay, the next use is for prediction. If you predict the future because there are some signs for it, you see something which makes you predict. We use by, in this case, be going to. For example, look at those dark clouds. It's going to rain.
So based on things that you see.
I see that there are clouds in the sky, so I say or I predict that it's going to rain. But if you predict the future because you think something will happen, we use will. For example, I think in the future there will be houses on the moon.
Yeah.
In this case, we don't.
Yeah, this is a prediction.
Yeah. Prediction. Number three, to ask or give an offer, use will. For example, I'll help you with these bags. Will you help me open this door? This is an offer. Will you help me?
Yeah. Asking for help.
Yeah. Number 4, to ask for or give information, we use well. For example, what time will the play start? It will start in a few minutes. This is a piece of
Information.
a piece of information. I give it to the person who asked me. Number 5, to give a promise, we use well. For example, I'll give you your money back tomorrow. This is the promise. I promise that person that I will give. I give him a money. Number 6, to express a strong will to do something, we use will. For example, the homework is difficult, but I'll do it.
Yeah. This is a strong will. I will do it.
I will do it.
I think this is the last one. Or
Okay.
there's more. This is the last one.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Now, I think that we are going to have a short break, dear students, and then we are going to be back after about 10 minutes.
Okay.